Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Press here, and this video is not only going to be about Halo 5, but rather a universal Xbox and Microsoft issue. So welcome everybody, and before I begin, take note that I will be using both the terms Smurf and alt account with the same meaning. Alright, so to start out with, what is a Smurf or alt account? The general community's view and definition on Smurf accounts are that they are completely fresh accounts made by either highly skilled or trolling players that both have a decent amount of experience and idea on how to play the game. Why do they do this? There's both positive and negative reasons as to why players play on Smurf accounts. Starting up with the positive reasons, it allows players to get practice while not having to worry about playing on their main accounts, and it also allows players to play with more casual friends, viewers, and subs from their YouTube channels and their Twitch streams. How does it affect the community negatively? It allows players to avoid their actual skill level and could end up playing much lesser skilled opponents. An example of this would be a champion ranked tier player making a fresh account and starting up a ranked playlist. They'd initially be playing a bunch of accounts that are bronzes, silvers, and other lower tier players, and it'd be definitely a huge gap in the skill level. And moving on to my final and most important reason, and this is basically why I made this whole video, there are a lot of trolls and people in this community that like to exploit the system just so they can ruin other people's enjoyment from these games. These trolls like to target popular people in the community such as YouTubers, Twitch streamers, highly skilled players, and other notorious people, and once they find their targets, they put all their time and effort into wasting it on ruining that person's experience on the game. During this video, I'm going to show you guys how to properly identify if an account is an alternative account. I'm also going to show you what I deal with every day, and I'm also going to show you guys the methods on how these alternative accounts can bypass the blocking system and match me every game. So overall, it's a great time when I stream because I never can, have a relaxing stream. I never can have a good time. These accounts are always going to match me. They always want to piss me off. They always want to get a reaction out of me. And, I'm a highly competitive person. I always like to win, and there's no way I can get past this. No way I can get around it. They will always be matching me. So let's get on with it. Next off, how do you know if someone is a Smurf? I use a system of 5 factors. Their gamertag, their ratio of game performance and skill compared to their amount of matches, time played, and in-game appearance, their Gamerscore, how many people they follow and how many followers they have, and lastly, how many games have they played? Have they only played Halo? Have they played more than just Halo? Using a combination of these 5 factors is the most accurate and best possible way of seeing if someone is an alt. But it's not perfect. Let's go in depth with all 5 signs. The first sign in spotting an alt is by their gamertag. This one can be very obvious or one of the more trickier signs. It can be the most obvious by having a harassing or directing tag, or on the other hand, the tags can be very misleading or be basic Xbox generated tags. Now, it's alright to laugh at these, but do realize that these really do piss me off in-game due to their cheating and exploiting, but as I said earlier, I'll be covering that later on in the video. Here are some of the tags that directly attack me. Gasolence, Press is crying, Splatter Nas, Nas is gay, Tilt Zone with Nas, Trashulence, Dad touched Nas, Nas blocked me, Excellence, I fuck Nas booty, and Nas rages hard. And there are plenty more. These are just a few, as you're about to see, because yep, that's right, I'm now going to show you guys my list of all 397 accounts that I have blocked. 397. I'll be marking out the dozen or so main accounts that I have blocked due to me not condoning any type of harassment, but all the rest, I'm 95% sure, are alts. Notice how a lot of them are blatantly obvious just by looking at the tags, but on the other hand, some of them just look like generated tags. This is why a tag is not enough evidence for an alt. Notice how it just keeps going and going and going. Look how much effort and time these people put into making these tags. Like it keeps going, it doesn't end. The list does not end. These people put so much time and effort into just pissing me off that it's so insane to think about. The second sign is their ratio of game performance and skill compared to their appearance, their rank, and their time played. If they have on the obvious default emblems, with the default armor, have a low rank, and have very little game time played, yet are absolutely destroying, maybe it'd be smart to check out their gamertag even if it's generated. The third sign is their Gamerscore. Now this is another reliable source but has many faults and exceptions and should not be solely used to guess whether someone's on an alt account. So, if an account has under 100 Gamerscore and has met other criteria of having a generated name or something that's very out there, and is also having a very dominating or trolling performance, then it's probably an alt. Now there's many exceptions like I've said. There's been plenty of people I've seen with 100 plus Gamerscore and even near 1000 Gamerscore that have been alts. While on the flip side, there have been many accounts with low Gamerscore but really seem to be new players, and this is where steps 4 and 5 are going to come in. The fourth sign that can be used to find out if it's an alt is by seeing how many friends and followers the account has. If it barely has any friends or followers, then another suspicion flag should be raised. Now some alts have even added mains and stuff like main accounts, and it's very obvious when they add them because then they're showing off that they're an alt. Finally, the last step that should be used is to see how many games that account has played, such as if it's played Halo, if it's played Battlefield, Call of Duty. If it's, played a lot of games, then it's probably not an alt. But if it's only played one game and has met other criteria, then it's a big red flag that this whole account is an alt. Sadly, the smart Smurf accounts will use the Xbox settings to block signs 4 and 5 for you to be able to view them. The overall signs and steps of spotting a Smurf account would be to see if there's an abnormality in someone's performance with time played, to check out their gamertag and gamerscore, and then to check out their friends, followers, and games played if possible. There's no 100% way of finding out if it's a Smurf account for everyone, but by using these tactics, it's worked out really well for me. Now on to the fun part. How do these troll accounts actually affect my gaming experience by cheating and using exploits? So to begin with, since they are new accounts, they are completely going to avoid the MMR system and will either be put on our team or the other team. When they are put on our team, they will now throw and derank the match. They will do this by sitting in our core room, by splattering us with hogs, ghosts, wasps, and banshees, by shooting at the enemy to give away our positions, by running to the enemy's base all game and feeding them kills to give them free rec energy, by purposely giving the other team powerful recs, by standing on our tanks, snipers, railguns, and blocking our shots, by purposely jumping in front of our vehicles so we splatter them and then they boot us. Yes, that has happened to me, and yes, I was screaming. And also by meleeing or shoulder charging us off power positions to our deaths in sweaty games. Here you can see a game where I had Halo Pro and streamer Baby J in my fire team. We also had 6 alternative accounts get on our team. We almost won somehow. But just take a look at this fucking bullshit here. Everyone was pissed. I know Baby J was really upset by it, and this should not happen. They targeted us. I was streaming with over 100 viewers, and they did that on purpose because they saw I was with Baby J, and they do it by default. But now, oh, there's a pro in there. We got to do it even more now, so it's just a great time. So for a second, put yourself in my shoes, and imagine having to face this every game, every time I stream, for hours on end, and imagine how much of a fun and enjoyable experience you would have. It's just a great time, It's a great time having these, ghosts splatter me, these people giving the other team hogs or even driving them in hogs, people just sitting in the core room doing absolutely nothing, people waiting for me to get off the rec station so they can splatter me, people feeding the other team. It's just awesome. I love this. This game was a very great experience that I will always remember for how much enjoyment I had out of it. Now that's just if they get on our team. If they get on the other team, it's almost always with another team of 6. And magically now, all the alts are sweating, and it's like MLG Dallas for them, and we get farmed in a 12v6. All of this is coordinated too. It's been confirmed by people that these people who target me have parties greater than 12 people and search with more than 2 teams of 6. Let's just take a grand old look at this game I had on Noctis a few weeks ago against the Heresy Spartan Company Warzone team. During the beginning of the match, we had completely outplayed them on the monument and were about to capture it. I did almost get splattered by a warthog in the monument that was our teammate. I didn't think anything of it. Then the next thing I know is that they have a warthog, the other team does, driving into the monument, going in circles, and they eventually stopped our captured, they triple capped us, and then farmed us with a bunch of alts for the rest of the game. Now that makes me think there, how did they get that warthog? Did they really drive that warthog? Well, one of my good friends who was also in the game, White, which he went into the game, he spectated it, and exactly saw what happened, and it's just as bad as you're going to think here. Yes, our random alt teammate drove the Warthog into the monument, purposely tried splattering me. He drove it to the other side and delivered the Warthog to the other team. And look at that. You can't tell me that is not coordinated. You cannot tell me that. Literally gets in the Warthog, he feeds them the kill, and the guy in the Warthog drives to the monument and stops our monument, capture. It's just, the rest of the game was a bunch of alts. Like, we got alts in our team because people started quitting out. There was alts in their team. It was just a great time, You can't tell me that wasn't coordinated, and you definitely can't tell me I was not screaming or raging. I was furious. This is just one example of 100 games that have at least had alts in there and have done this type of shit against me. It doesn't stop there, though. There's a new matching method in Halo 5 that completely avoids the blocking system. Basically, I will always be playing against alts, and I'll always be getting plowed in my core room. The new system works one of two ways. The first way is to actually have a fire team of 2 or more players with accounts that are unblocked by me. These are usually completely fresh accounts. And then they start backing out when they match me and joining in with their accounts that are blocked that usually have more recs, or their main accounts. This is all done while in the intermission. This completely bypasses and avoids the MMR system. Now players are going to be on their main accounts and have better teammates. But this can get much worse. If there's 12 players, like I said, that want to do this, they can search in any size of fire team, and no matter what team they get on, they will either get on the other team and gang up on me, or they'll get on my team and sabotage us. This has happened to me in all types of assortments and combinations of players. Now, the other method is to have at least one person match us that is obviously unblocked, and then they start inviting all their friends after the match has started. Then once anyone on their team leaves, a person that I have blocked, or anyone for that matter, can and will join in progress onto that team. Again, not only will they start to gain the advantage, but it also catches us off guard. But yet again, it doesn't stop there. Guess how dirty these fuckers actually are. They will purposely start inviting random people on that team, like they'll be watching my stream and see the names, and those people will even message them to join up on them so that they trick these random people to leave the match, and then a spot is open for that Smurf or alt account to join. Sounds like a lot of effort to piss me off, huh? Maybe 2 to 3 times after they piss me off, you'd think they'd get bored of it. Wrong. This has been so bad these past few months, and it's a daily occurrence, and it would go on for hours. I was basically taking 6 to 7 losses a night, and all the rest of the games we would barely win. Alright, so that was my verbal breakdown of what happens with these two methods, and now I'm going to visually show you guys exactly what happens. So this was on a game of Apex 7 a couple weeks ago, and it's perfectly going to showcase both of these methods. So in this first picture, this is right when we loaded into the game, and we can see all 24 emblems. And moving on to the next picture, we can see a big change in the emblems. I wonder what happened, Right here, we can see that there was 6 different emblems from the original that appeared right before the game started. So 6 changes happened. Now here's what exactly happens. So these players, like you see this magnum opus, that player purposely leaves the game so their other friend can join on their account. And that's what happens. So they leave. These emblems all leave so their friends can join. So that's the first method. They do this in the screen like before the game starts. And they do this while they're on alts or on other accounts just as a placeholder. So this account right here was a placeholder so that another account could get in there. Moving on to the method 2, as we can see as the game started up, there's only 11 players in here, so obviously a 12th is going to be getting in there. So that's already proving the second method is that they're getting their 12th player in there. But they only had 7 players on their team right now that were sweaty and on Spartan companies and teams that we all knew. There was only 7. This will come in important on the next few slides. But here's at the very end of the match here. We can already see the sweaty names. They have Gaselance now. They have Empty, Timer 95K, Captain Calzone. Players that were not originally in the game. So how did they get in? Well, look at this here. They have 11 players in total now. Like, out of sweaty players on their team, they have 11 instead of 7, which is insane. How did this happen? How did they get Gaselance, Empty, and Captain Calzone? How did they get them? Well, they're random players. As we go back here, players started quitting out of the game. And once these players started quitting out, they started gaining these players. They were all waiting in progress in the menu screen like I showed you earlier in my video. They all wait. They're waiting for someone to join and they'll fill in the spot. So it's pretty fucking ridiculous, right? Hell, it's even gotten to the point where these fuckers have even made Spartan companies full of alts. Look at these. These are two of them. Punch Me in Your Head and Nas Erectile Dysfunction Company. Like, how low do you have to be to make companies full of alternative accounts that have to match me? And I know who the Punch in Your Head company is. Like, I know they're all in the Heresy company, and that company even had to kick members out because they are all doing this, and it's ridiculous how low these players have to go. And not only am I just being harassed by these alts in-game, by them cheating, them betraying me, by them just, really trying to piss me off and aggravate me, they are also reporting me after every time they match up against me. So I have over 1,800 reports now. Yes, I'm in Avoid Me reputation now. So I'm in Avoid Me reputation, and I can't even play the game because I'm being cheated and betrayed by these alts every time. It's just absolutely insane. Oh, and one last thing before I conclude. For those of you who still aren't convinced or think I'm full of bullshit, we tested this method ourselves for 2 games over the last weekend, and it worked flawlessly. We had one team of 6 on their main accounts, and then another team of 6 on their alt accounts, and we matched flawlessly. It was so easy. The other team of alts just did absolutely nothing on the other team, and we won the game with ease, and it's ridiculous how easy it is to do. It's not difficult at all, and they can pull this off against me every time they want to. So to conclude, I don't really know of any viable solutions, but this video was made mainly to show recognition and to show you guys what I have to deal with that no one really else does deal with. Some people are really harassed in the community just for being known, and it's just unfair, and it's bullshit, especially when you're very competitive. So I hope this can also change the minds of people who say blocking is pathetic and that press doesn't like competition. That's so fucking bullshit. There's a difference between fair competition and being handicapped, to then people who know they're exploiting and cheating the system so they can beat me and get a reaction out of me on Twitch. So until next time, everyone.